What do y'all think about my daughter? Let's give her a big hand. You know, she told you that completely makes me mad sometimes. She tells the truth about me all the time. But anyway, she told you the truth, really, about the years of growing up and these things and me gone all the time and back. And I was I was a race car fan way back yonder. I think when my mother had me, when I was born, I come out flying. But anyway, that car is the car, not a replica, the car that won the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
That car was running 207 miles an hour when it showed flashback a lot of time about this car with Dale Earnhardt trying to catch Dale Jarrett. Dale Jarrett was walking away in that car. And that car, when it crossed the line at Daytona, it won $1,500,000. They listen, they big money in NASCAR. And that car cost $250,000 to build it. I kind of started caking it in prison. And once they win the Daytona 500, you don't race them no more. They become a show car. They're a trophy. Well, they was letting me take it in prison because I knew that I was going in prison. They knew I was doing it, and they started letting me take it in prisons. Well, I took it in prison several years when they went to Toyota. I'm going to tell you, Norm Miller owns Interstate Batteries. He sponsors that car, and he spends $15 to $20 million a year on sponsorship. Now he's the biggest battery company in the world, Interstate Batteries. And Norm Miller. Norm Miller is a fantastic Christian.
That's right.
And let me tell you this, Norm Miller has been in prisons with me, and he's a Christian. Joe Gibbs is a Christian. Well, Joe Gibbs went to Toyotas. They went over to Toyotas. This is Monte Carlo. And so Joe Gibbs and Norm Miller had a discussion, and they decided to give me the car. It's my car. That's quite a present, ain't it? That's quite a present. But that's what happens to you when you become Christians, and you get where you don't really care all that much about money. You care about people. And that's what it is, that you care about people. God says, go and tell. Well, see, I go and tell. Everybody here that's with us goes and tells. Because that's what God told us to do. How would you ever hear if we don't come tell you? Somebody's got to tell you. And I'm telling you this, brothers, there's a better life out there. There's a better life out there than what I had the time, the 45 years I spent going in and out of prison and jails. And I am living proof that God changes lives.
Yeah.
He changed my life in prison, and he'll change your life here today if you want it. Now, if you want to stay like you are, you can stay like you are. God is not going to force himself on nobody. But let me tell you this, God is there wanting you to come over to him. Because this war between him and Satan, and what you're doing, you're letting Satan take the biggest hand in you when you don't come over to God. You become God, you're going to find yourself a lot of more better way to go. God's the only way to go. That's why we're here to tell you that. And today you can change it. If you don't change it, you know what's going to happen? You're going to die one of these days. They're going to dig a hole. They're going to put you in it. And they're going to cover you up. And you ain't going to never be heard of again. You're gone. Your life was just wasted, but you can walk out this sucker and you can be somebody, brother. And you'll know you're somebody when you ask Jesus Christ in your heart. You'll know it. And I'm going to tell you this. I went a long ways. My life was kind of like yours, in and out and all these problems. And I made some big money. In 1961, my car was the fastest car at Daytona. My car, I went to Hallman Moody and had it blueprinted. It was a Ford. And my car looked like a bunch of hound dogs chasing a rabbit. Come off the fourth turn and flew like an airplane. That sucker shot up in the air and come down spinning. And let me tell you this. If y'all got a library here, you can go and look in the library, a NASCAR history book, and you look under owners of NASCAR, and you'll find me 1961, and you'll read about my car. And then my car started spoilers. See them spoilers on the back of that car? It started all the spoilers. My car started in 1961. But let me tell you this. I come a long ways after that. While I was in prison, now you listen. While I was in prison, I lost an 8.5-year-old son. My son died, had a tumor to the brain. They opened him up to take the tumor, and it had cancer spread. My little boy lived 3 days, begging for Daddy Jack. I couldn't go be with my little boy because I was in prison right where I put myself. And I swore then, I was up in Pennsylvania, I swore then I would never do nothing bad again. But I did. You know why? Because of my nature. When you get out, I'm in it. When I got out, I'm in it. But you know what? I couldn't keep that promise because my heart hadn't been changed. Your heart is special for God. He's the only one that can change your heart. And when he changes your heart, brother, it's changed and your nature changes. You don't run with the same bunch that you used to run with. You don't do the same things. You just don't want to. But God leads you. You don't have to worry about what you're going to do or go ahead. You get out of here, God will lead you to where he wants you. Because you belong to him then. When you belong to God, he's your manager, brother. And he'll tell you just like he did me. He ain't no difference. He said, I'm not a respecter of persons. What I did for Jack Meeks, I do for you. See, we all belong to the Lord, whether we like it or not. But you know what? We're going to go like this. Over here is Satan. Over here is the Lord. Who do you think put you in here? Caused you to be here? Your Father. Jesus said in John 8:44, if my Father's not your father, you're of the devil. You are of your father the devil, and you will do his wishes. Why are you in here? Because you were doing his wishes. You bet. Today's the day to get away from the unchanged fathers, brother, and come over here to the right Father.
Amen.
Well, listen to this. I don't have long. We're going to have to shut this thing down, but I'm going to tell you this. When I was in that prison, my mother rode a Greyhound bus from Orlando, Florida to Fort Worth, Texas to be with me on that Christmas coming up. And my mother got there and found out I was in prison again. And let me tell you, she sat down and wrote me a letter and told me how many times I had broken her heart. I had 5 brothers. There never was no problems. I was the black sheep of my family. And my mother said, I come to be with you this Christmas. I wanted to be with you. I rode a Greyhound bus from Orlando, Florida to Fort Worth, Texas to be with you. But there's one thing I want you to know. I still love you. Your mother loves you. I don't care what you've done. She still loves you. And let me tell you this. My mother said, I still love you, and started signing that letter and fell over dead with a massive heart attack. I killed my mother just as sure if I'd have put a gun to her head and pulled the trigger because of my rotten, stinking sorrowness. My mother died with a broken heart over me. And I promised God then again, I'm going to be the man my mother always wanted me to be when I leave, but I couldn't have kept that. I'm going to make a long story short, I couldn't have kept it. Because let me tell you something, they went back to Macon, Georgia, where my mother was buried, my whole family. Robin and Linda, my oldest daughter, they went back, and my oldest daughter brought an orchid to me.
U61, U23, and S44. Come to the picket. Y'all have visits.
I'm going to tell you, my daughter brought me an orchid off my mother's casket to the president. She was fixing to be married, just happy as she could be. She left happy. So Thursday, the warden called me. Warden Costello called me to the office and said, Jack, I hate to tell you this, but your daughter that was here Sunday is dying in Abilene, Texas, West Texas Medical Center, where I'm a chaplain at today. That was a long time ago, 40-something years, but let me tell you this. He said, I've called you, the doctor just called me and says she's begging for you, and you need to go be with her because before she dies, I've called a pardon and parole board, got your reprieve. You can go be with your daughter. When she dies, you got to come back. I went to be with my daughter. And I want y'all to say this. Don't ever, ever forget what I'm fixing to tell y'all. What my daughter wanted with me. My daughter said, Daddy, if you become a Christian, I'll see you again. And Daddy, if you don't become a Christian, I'll never see you again. And tears rolling down her eyes, face. Let me tell you something, brother. If I don't get your attention, you're a cold-hearted man. And let me tell you this. I'm standing there begging God to take me until to her. He took her. And I'm standing there watching my daughter die. And let me tell you this, man. It's a terrible thing, but I'm going to tell you what. I went back to that prison and I said, Lord, why did you let me be born? I don't want to live anymore. And let me tell you, I did one thing right in my life. My wife gave me a Bible to take back to prison with me and asked me would I read it all. And I said yes. And I started reading that Bible the next day. And that's the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. Coming through it, I found the truth. I found God says, and on May the 7th, which I call May Day, I was on the Coalfield unit. I said, Lord, I want my life changed. I don't want to be me no more. I want to be, Lord, if there's any way you can forgive me of my sins, I ask you to please forgive me, Lord. And if you'll just do that and let me know it, Lord, I'll do anything in the world for you, and I'll be your man. That was 42 years ago, and here I stand.
Amen.
Yeah! All right.
I said, Lord, what did I do to be saved? He said, I done it. All you got to do is accept it. I sent my son to die on the cross for you, and if you believe that he died and shed his blood for you, and if you believe that I raised him from the dead, ye shall be saved. You see, I got my GED in prison. I knew the difference between shall and may. He didn't say you may be. He said you shall be. I said, Lord, that's too easy. He said, try me. Brother, I hit that floor on my knees, and let me tell you this. That 2-lap thrill in Daytona was the greatest thing. I was a great man. I was involved. You're talking about a thrill worldly. But Jesus Christ said, I'll give you a joy. If you'll come to me, I'll give you joy, and that joy will be with you forever.
Amen. Amen.
That was 42 years ago. I still got it. Brought it here to you today. I brought you the joy. You can have that joy, brother. It's made for you just as much as it's made for me. And let me tell you something. You don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you're missing. Now, we're fixing to close this thing, and I'm going to pray for you. And then this is, we're going to bunch them. Can I bunch them?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to pray for y'all right now. And when I pray for you, my teammates are going to raise their hands. Well, where they are. They're going to raise them. And I want you to go to them. I want you to go to them and let them read just a little bit verse right here. Nobody ain't going to force nothing on you. I'm going to tell you this. And I'm going to tell you this. I had that great thrill. And when I got out on my floor, I had that thrill. When I come up, I had that joy. And let me tell you something. That joy can be yours today. And don't you miss it, okay? God bless y'all. Father, I